Hi, my name is Rachel Vecht. I'm the founder of Educating Matters. So the Easter holidays are almost upon us, and if you have older children, especially doing public exams, I wouldn't really call this period a holiday because this is the final run-up to preparing for those exams. Now, my older two children, I've got one doing A-levels and one doing GCSEs in about 6 weeks' time. So we've really got a double act. And despite all my experience and having run so many seminars over the years for parents on supporting their kids through exams, it's still really challenging period for me, and I think it's actually harder than doing the exams yourself, because when you're doing them yourself you're in control, and when you're a parent you can't really control how things happen. So I've read lots and lots of books on revision techniques and preparing for exams, and I've only very recently come across what I think are the best books on this subject, and I wanted to share some of the core ideas with you. So it's 3 books, you don't need to read all 3, but there's one called The GCSE Mindset, there's one called The A-Level Mindset, and just this year, hot off the press, the same authors brought out The Student Mindset, and there's a common theme through all of them. The authors, Steve Oakes and Martin Griffin, are both very experienced GCSE and A-level teachers. They've taught thousands of students, and they've tried to really work out and analyse what is it that those kids who do really well in exams are doing and how it differs to other kids. Now, I have felt for many years that it's not necessarily the child with the highest IQ, so the cleverest child, or even the child who works the hardest, that actually performs the best in exams. Exams require a lot of non-cognitive skills, things like grit, resilience, growth mindset, being conscientious. And a lot of these skills actually need to be taught or learned with guidance and support from adults. Now, these 2 authors have really tried to analyse what it is these students are doing, and they've nailed it down to what they call VESPA, V-E-S-P-A. Now, the V stands for vision. So the idea is that students who perform really well need very, very clearly defined goals and targets that need to come from them. So these students know what they want to achieve, and they really have a reason for doing well in their exam. And of course, this has to come from them. Now, in the books, there are really practical exercises to work on all these skills. So that's V for vision. The E is for effort. So obviously, to do well in exams, you need hard work. You need to work hard. But it's working in an efficient way. So how are you using that effort and really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone? The S is for systems. And this is about how students organise, first of all, their learning. So obviously having all their notes together in a way that they can use them very well rather than papers all over the place. And also how they organise their time. So structuring their time well, making very clear timetables with subjects broken down into manageable chunks. So you need to have those systems in place. The P is for practice. And this is about how they actually learn. So there's all sorts of techniques, from mind maps to index cards to teaching somebody else. But there are 3 main things that to really practice effectively, students need to do. The first is obviously learning the content. So that's kind of memorizing the content, and there's lots of different ways to do that. I've got other articles on my website in the blog section which talk about revision techniques. But that's one element. The second element is, once you've learned that content, to actually do lots of past papers and practice applying what you've learned. And the third part of practice that's also really important is the feedback. So whether that's feedback from teachers or looking at mark schemes. And I think the mistake that some students make is they either spend too long learning the information but never actually getting onto the practice papers and applying it, or they spend too long practicing the papers but they haven't learnt the content, and they also really need that feedback. And the last part of VESPA is the A, and this is to do with attitude. And I've spoken so much in the past about fostering a growth mindset, but if they have a positive, confident attitude and they're able to manage their emotions and they have that self-belief, that is a very core element of succeeding in exams as well. So you've got vision, effort, systems, practice, and attitude. And studying is as much about mastering yourself as it is mastering the subject. So I wish all of your children the very best in their exams, mine included, and I can't wait until the summer holidays. For further support, please see educatingmatters.co.uk. Thank you.